It's fall, and that means it's time for the fall transformation. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and although the annuals are still looking pretty good for this time of year, it's time for them to go. Out with the old and in with the new. I'm ready for a fall look for the front of my house. So in today's video, we are going to show you how we get these petunias so big and beautiful. We do the pot in the pot system, so we're going to show you exactly how that works. So let's go ahead and let's get these annuals all ripped out and replaced with gorgeous fall plants. So what we have here in the front of the house is the new Supertunia Vista for 2026. This was a trial that we did, and this is the Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz. Cool Jazz has done an exceptional job in the landscape this year. And in fact, we took out a tape measure and we measured this one plant. This started off as a 4.5-inch container. And from the very edge to the very edge, it is just about 6 foot wide. We water every day and we fertilize once a week to obtain these gorgeous results. Other things that we have that are doing fantastic are our hanging baskets. They have held on and have done really well this year. We've got the geraniums up there, the grape punch, super bells, and then we've got that big leaf vine, and that was a perfect look for us. Now, yes, we did have to go in, and Dad had those geraniums, but these baskets, they have just looked fantastic all summer long. Rod is waiting. He's got the gloves in hand and his scissors, and he's going to go ahead and start removing these petunias. And we like to call this, instead of rolling out the red carpet, we are rolling up the pink carpet. So basically, he's going to go in there, and he's got them all lifted up there, pulled the dripper out, and he's just snipping the one single plant that was in there. And you can see there's a lot of branching on that one plant, but that was just one 4.5-inch plant that was planted down into that container. Now we find that this is the easiest way to do this fall cleanup is by simply just rolling up the petunias. So he's using a scissors. You can use pruners, whatever your tool of choice is. And you can see, look at all the kind of just dead, yucky undersides of those petunias with all that gorgeous flower on top. The reason we like to use the Supertunias, especially the Vistas here in our landscape, is because of their performance. As you can see here, they perform, and they perform exceptionally well. With the Supertunia Vista series, you can expect your plants to get usually at least 3 foot wide. Now, this is with fertilizing once a week and watering daily. We were able to get them 6 foot wide. And I mean, there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing special we did. It's just keeping up on that fertilizer and keeping up on the water. Now, you might wonder, what type of fertilizer are we using? And we're using the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer, and that's something we have available in our store in Zeeland, Michigan, as well as available online, and we can ship it directly to you if you are not fertilizing your plants right now. That is one thing I do like to say is, when you are growing annuals, the saying is, feed them and they'll be fabulous. And this is just absolute proof that feeding them, they will look fabulous. If you're somebody who chooses not to feed, you probably aren't going to get the results like we're having here. I like to call fertilizer also like insurance. You put the investment into the plants that you're growing in your landscape, you might as well put just a little bit of money into that insurance as well. So that insurance is a very important thing to do, and that will get you these results of all these fantastic plants for in your landscape. Now, I did mention that we do the pot in the pot system. So we have a 12-inch pot that is buried down into our ground. We use lava rock that was here when we bought the place, so we just continue to use it. And we have the identical pot, a 10-inch pot, that we drop down into it. So basically, this pot is just a placeholder. We don't have to dig every year. It just stays there. It keeps the rocks held back, and we'll just drop the pot in there for every season or every change. And then we do have 2 drippers that we also place in to get these plants fed and watered regularly. See how quick and easy that removal is? You just slip it out, and in a few minutes, he's just going to grab the mums and just drop them right in. So one thing you're noticing as he continues to pull the pots out of the placeholders is you can see on the pavement, we had rain last night and all the foliage from the petunias kind of held some of that moisture in. You can see just how far they reached out onto our sidewalk here. So I would say it's a good 18, in some spots almost 24 inches that it spread and covered up the sidewalk. So if that's something you're like, oh, I don't want that to happen to my sidewalk, what you can do is, I mean, you can keep them trimmed a little bit if you want, or just plant or just place your pots further off the sidewalk so that as they spread, it'll be more back into your rocks or your landscape than what we have here. Our pots are centered about 18 inches off the edge of the cement there. So ideally, you know, if your plants only get 3 foot wide, if you have the center 18 inches off the edge, that means your plant's going to grow 18 inches in each direction. But our plants are overachievers and they grew fantastic and reached that 6 foot mark. So now you just saw, he just quickly just dropped those mums in the pots. So we'll watch him do that again when he comes with the next couple of them here. I think this year he selected some yellow mums for the front of the house. I just, you know, reds wouldn't look so great with our teal. So yellows, pinks, whites would all look nice. So he's just dropping that right in there. Oh, so carefully, or not. And then what he'll do when he comes back through is he'll just take those drippers and place the drippers into each of these pots. So this is the type of emitter that we have on our drip system. It goes off, I think they go off for maybe 10 or 15 minutes every day, especially in the fall. You don't need as much water, at least here in West Michigan, as you do during the summer. So just, you know, just giving a little drink helps them go through the fall.
It's the first day of fall here in Western Michigan. And as you notice, we were putting these mums in and they're still a little tight. They don't show much color on them yet. Mums can go through what's called the heat delay. If they're grown out naturally and it's hot, which we had a very hot summer, you can delay flowering. They're going to be a little bit later this year, but it was time for us to replace. And I would say you can start seeing some color on it, maybe a week, 2 weeks, they'll be looking really good. You might also see mums in a box store in mid to late summer, and those mums are grown in a greenhouse where they can be dark clothed, it's called, at maybe 5, 6 o'clock at night to shorten the day length. So the mums need a shortened day length to flower, and they need a cool nights to flower. If you grow them naturally, you're going to have a mum in September and October. And ultimately, that's when a mum is supposed to bloom. But some of these box stores want color in as soon as the annuals are finished for the season, and that's what they're doing.
It's when we start getting those cooler nights that are later in the summer and in the fall, that's what helps the mum buds open up. We chose mums that are a little tighter than open because we want these to last a little bit longer in the season. We do have some that are about halfway in bloom, which we could have chose. But again, we want this color to last a little bit later into the fall. So we chose just slightly tighter mums to place in the landscape. Thank you for watching our fall transformation video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're new to our channel, we welcome you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.